It's a beautiful Saturday today, and we have a stream later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be hanging out and talking Transformers and recapping all the great news and taking some super chat questions from the listeners. But let's talk about something else that's extremely beautiful today, this Saturday. And it's that of Flame Toys and them revealing on their Facebook page the full gallery of their Flame Toys Furai model IDW Rodimus. Now, this news and the color images actually started yesterday, but they posted on their Facebook page that they were going to be doing a full gallery showing the articulation and everything that comes with the figure on Saturday. So I figured I'd hold out that news to today to kind of talk about it so we could get a better indicator of what we come with here pretty much. So for people that aren't familiar, Flame Toys' Furai models are highly detailed model kits, non-transformable, of select Transformer characters. Now, if you're not someone that's too familiar with model kits, I wouldn't be too worried about these. I'm someone that's... I've been building Bandai Gundam model kits since, I want to say, 1997, for a very long time, over 25 years. And I've messed with Flame Toys' Furai model kits in limited capacity. I have their Starscream and I have their Bumblebee. And I find that the Starscream is probably more in line with what this Hot Rod is going to be. Excuse me, this Rodimus, this IDW Rodimus. And they're not very complicated. It's very easy to do these model kits. They're molded in color. I mean, you can paint them if you want to get that extra detail and use Gundam markers for, like, panel lines and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these are molded in color, and some of them even come with sticker sheets or water transfers. So you don't really need to have a high-end experience when it comes to building model kits to enjoy these. And what they are essentially are pretty decently affordable, good beginner kind of model kits for Transformer fans to build and to get designs that, in all honesty, Hasbro really hasn't shown any interest of making transformable toys. Now, granted, if you're a fan of IDW Rodimus like I am, you've probably already gone out of your way and picked up some of the great third-party kits that have already not third-party kits, third-party figures that have already existed in different colorings and different shapes and sizes. But this is one of the first, it's one of two, and I'll bring up the second one, but it's one of two first ever official releases of this design of the character, and both of them are through Flame Toys. Flame Toys likes to really go off the beaten path and make figures based off of stuff that Hasbro really isn't interested in doing product for. And I think that's probably an agreement between the two companies because they don't clash with each other. And then when they do a figure that's something Hasbro's doing, it's usually a very stylized version. So this is going to retail, pre-order start today. The retail is going to be $40 USD, and the size of it is approximately, according to their website here, it says 150 millimeters, which is slightly, and I mean slightly, I mean ever so slightly under 6 inches. So it's almost something that'll fit in with almost your Transformers RED line, which is also, oddly enough, a 6-inch non-transformable Transformer line. So I don't know if that was done on purpose to kind of have some kind of cohesiveness with what Hasbro's doing right now with also their non-transformable stuff. But it's something that's appreciated because it could kind of fit on your shelving there. Now, let's talk about articulation. So they say here there's going to, because of the way this is designed, and anyone who's built model kits know exactly what I'm talking about, there's going to be a lot of articulation. They say here 50 points of articulation. I mean, ankle tilts, ankle swivels, knee swivels, double joints, everything. Interchangeable hands, closed fists, gun-holding fists, open fists. Everything is going on here. He has 2 guns, actually 3 guns to my knowledge, and just looks incredible. Just looks incredible. Like, there's so much going on. Actually, it's 2 guns, 3 sets of fists, 2 closed fists, 2 guns fists, and 2 open fists. Interchangeable weapons, because you could have him with or without his little tri-blasters on his wrists, depending on what issue it is. Alex Milne usually drew it with the tri-blasters. Some other artists, like let's say Nick Roche, kind of tried to streamline it and not phase them out. but still looks incredible. And the articulation, again, me wanting to wait for the galleries was the most important thing, because it really just shows how expressive and articulated this figure is. And for $40, for a good starter kit to get people to understand, how these things work and how great they are, I heavily suggest you jump on it. And it's not just my bias of the character, but just I've worked with these kits already in the past, and again, my 20 plus years with Gundam kits and stuff like that from Bandai. And these are some good stuff. It's some good high quality stuff. Now, not to get this confused with something else that Flame Toys is also doing. Flame Toys also has their Kurukara Kuri line, which are more high-end, expensive, articulated figures. And they're slightly larger, too. Now, they're also going to be making an IDW Rodimus of this, but if you actually look at the design of that Rodimus, it's more of a stylized version of the IDW one. And I think they did that on purpose to kind of give people different options. So if you want a more accurate to how the James Roberts, Alex Milne comics were, I would get this model kit. This seems more the direction to take. And not to mention, because, and let's be honest here, he doesn't transform that much in the comic. It really is more of a robot mode social kind of thing. The IDW, James Roberts, Alex Milne kind of run of Morta Meets the Eye and Lost Light and stuff. So you're actually kind of better off with this in terms of its character and expression, where I own the third-party action figures from various companies, and they don't have that, they're more of a masterpiece figure with its limitations. So you want something that could just have Rodimus running, jump kicking back with its hand behind his head, sleeping, every possible kind of pose. This is going to be great. This is super cool. I'm definitely picking this up 200%. And the different, you could pretty much pick it up from all the major sources right now, whether it be BBTS, TF Source, Robot Kingdom, Hobby Link Japan. I could go on and on. None of these are sponsors. I'm just saying, pick your website that you enjoy, and you'll probably find it there up for pre-order. Again, the standard is supposed to be retail 40 USD, so that kind of gives you already an idea of where you could start when you're looking for what you want to pay. But this looks great. Looks super cool. The images that I'm going to include barely scratch the surface. It's a full gallery of over 24 images, and he just looks spectacular. So let me know what you think about this. I'm looking forward to more of these, because there's so many great IDW styled characters that appeared in that book that are just never going to get toy versions of them. And it's going to be really interesting to see if this sells well, if Flame Toys is going to want to kind of continue that path and do more versions of those characters. It really will be interesting to see. There's, the Megatrons and stuff like that are already getting done, but some of the others, I would love personally me, I would love to see that IDW Blur kind of get a second take, not just what his Generations toy was, which was just a remold repaint of the Drift toy, the deluxe class, but something that's way more like the Casey Collar design and that Spotlight book. But that's just me personally, and in all honesty, if I was part of their company, I wouldn't suggest it, because it's not a super popular character than, say, some of the others from the IDW continuity. But still, really cool stuff. Let me know what you think. Who would you like to see next? I want Blur, but this is definitely would have been my first pick, is here with this IDW Rodimus. Great stuff. And again, I hope to see you all tonight at the stream. We're going to be rocking out and enjoying everything in this crazy world that we're living today.